Hello and welcome. This is Goldenrod Studios. My name is Thad. I'm going to be your host for today. Today what we're going to be going over a Rockets Mewtwo EX deck list. What we are going to look at today is my current deck list, my thoughts on the archetype and how I feel it could be going into our Destined Rivals meta. On top of that, we're going to look at some potential winning lists in Japan, as well as some other deck lists that I think are going to be really good going into this. The reason why I'm making this video for us today is we have a big tournament coming up, at least for myself. So we're going to be doing some serious testing with Mewtwo EX. In today's video, we're going to be doing some test hands, but unfortunately no gameplay. We do plan on myself and Zach coming out with a gameplay video with the Rockets Mewtwo EX deck and what our thoughts are on it. But for right now, you're here with me. And we're going to go over my current list and what I think we should be looking at in this archetype. On top of that, just some background information about myself. I am a part of the Pokestop podcast with my co-host Zach Pra. So please feel free to check him out. Check out our podcast on the same channel. On top of that, I've been playing the Pokemon TCG for a very long time. I got started in like 2002. Played very not competitively for a long time. Then in 2006, started playing competitively. I was, getting ready to get into high school. It was, just a weird time. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I played Pokemon for a couple years. Went around, traveled a little bit. Didn't really have the means to go to big regionals or anything like that. And really didn't know many people in this space. Was kind of just doing it on my own with, the support of my family. And then as I grew older, I played the game off and on for quite a while. Just played online, mostly on PTCGO. But then, during COVID, decided, why not throw myself back into the competitive scene. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go over one of my new favorite competitive decks and see how well it can perform and talk about a few matchup options and see how the deck looks with a few test hands. So thank you for watching. Feel free, comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think about Rockets Mewtwo EX. Do you think it's a good archetype? Do you think it's going to be better than like C or B tier going forward into our Destined Rivals meta? So yeah, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching. All right, and like I said, we are going to get some test hands getting down on this. Again, I just really want to show off maybe a couple solitaire hands, see how the deck looks, and see what a couple of starting hands look like. In this testing, we're going to just pretend as though we are going to be playing up against a Raging Bolt. So I want to, consider some of the more popular decks right now, Raging Bolt being one of them. We are going to go ahead and get this deck put down. We'll say we'll go first. We'll get a positive coin flip. Let's see what our starting hand looks like. We got 4, 7. I'm confident I'm going to have a basic here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put out the 6 prize cards. And let's see what we got. And we did get a basic. Actually, this is a pretty good start. We got the Proton ready to go. So as long as, let's say as an example, our opponent goes... even if we're going first here, we're still going to be able to get down 3 Rockets Pokemon. So let's draw for turn. Oh, yeah. Tarountula goes down. Drew into the Clefairy. Not a card you really want to see early, but it's nice to know that, if you get Iono, it just goes to the bottom of the deck. So you don't really care. We're going first, so we get to play Proton. With the Proton, we are going to grab 2 more of the Tarountulas in a Mewtwo because we need to get it started to get powered up. So we'll get a Tarountula there, and let's do just a little bit of prize checking. Looks like I prized a singular Tarountula and a... Nope, all the Spidops are here, I believe. I think I have one in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, we got them all in deck. So prizes aren't too bad. Looks like we prize no significant Pokemon, which is kind of nice. So 1, 2, and 3. Let's go ahead and shuffle it up. We're going to just assume that Raging Bolt does Raging Bolt things. Turn 1, going second. We're going to assume that they are going to build up a Baby Bolt and start going in on my bench, sniping around on my Tarountulas. Because getting 2 energy on that is super easy. So we're going to assume that active Tarountula goes down, coming back into our turn. We're going to just do a couple turn 1, turn 2s here. Get everything shuffled up nice and fairly, just so that everybody can see. I'm not stacking the top deck here. But because I played the Proton, I am going to put down my Stadium. Actually, let's do this. Let's put down the Stadium. I messed around a little bit. Let's get an Earthen Vessel going here, because I'll go get a Grass and a Psychic out of the deck. Because we played the Proton early, we can now have Factory active, and now we're going to see more cards. So this is why I think playing the 4 stadiums is super powerful, because you have no real way to go search out the stadiums, but you want to have a stadium down basically at all times. Just because even though you're disrupting or you're setting up, you're still going to be able to draw. And that's really about how you want to play this deck. I kind of want to build this deck sort of in the same thought process of, you know, how we played Raging Bolt prior to rotation, with like sort of Rocket's Factory being a pseudo Pokestop. So that being said, we're going to throw down a Rocket's Energy. I'm not going to play down the Transceiver, because if it gets knocked out, I would definitely like to just go get a Archer for disruption. So we'll assume it goes back to our opponent's turn. They build up a Baby Bolt. They knock out our Tarountula. So now we're going to promote our Mewtwo. And, oh wait, hold on. Before we do that, rewind. So we put down the Rocket's Energy, and now we're going to draw 2 off the Rocket's Factory now that we thinned out the energy. 1, 2, perfect. We got ourselves a Spidops. So we are getting ready to go for turn 2. Gonna say that the Raging Bolt player does get a knockout on my active Tarountula. What I would like to do here, we are going to just be running under the assumption that our opponent sort of just has it all, right? And by have it all, I mean our opponent has set up a bench. They have a 2-prizer down, like a Teal Mask, because they're going to have to. So we're going to push up one of the Tarountulas, because this turn we're going to use the Transceiver to go get Giovanni. So we're going to draw. And that's actually kind of perfect, because really what we want to do here is we want to throw down a Spidops. We are going to actually get the other Tarountula back. Let's go ahead and play Ultra Ball, because what we're going to do is go get another Tarountula so we can start really moving energy around here. We really want to get energy put on board. We want to get energy everywhere we can. So we're going to go there. Oh, don't need to shuffle, because I'm going to go ahead and use, I'm going to go down to a 0-card hand here. So I'm going to use Transceiver, attach for turn. Transceiver will go get me Giovanni. This is kind of a risky play, I would say, just because we're leaving ourselves with a 2-card hand, because we're going to be able to draw off the factory. And it's going to get sketchy from here, but if we can get some good draws off the factory and off our prizes, then, you know, we should be set. Because now it's just about looping the Mewtwo's, and we can clean up game with like a knockout with a Tarountula on like a Mew-EX with a full bench, or you know, if they play Squawkabilly, we can chase down Squawkabilly. So we have options here, you know. And honestly, the Spidops can reach, if I save my max belt, it can reach for 240 if we really need it to. So, well, really it'd be 250, but you know what I mean. We can take a pretty big 2-prizer. Now that's shuffled, I'm going to Giovanni up a 2-prizer. Let me go into my Mewtwo here. I'm going to use one of my Galvantulas. Now that we have energy on bench, we're going to draw 2. Holy cow, look at that, another Giovanni. And another Poffin. So Poffin will go get us another Tarountula, which I said was prized, so we're just gonna get a Mimikyu. Again, a free retreat pivot is always nice. Now Mewtwo only lets it discard from the bench, so 160 plus 60 for each energy we discard. We're doing 220, which is a really good number. Again, taking out those bench sitters, the Pheasantippides, the Teal-Mask Ogrepons, stuff like that. Latias. So I would have just gusted up basically any 2-prizer they had available to them. Team Rocket's Factory. Let me draw a couple more cards. Deck is shuffled. Got that off the draw. We would take a knockout on 2 prizes. We take our 2 prizes and look at that. We are ready to go again. We are ready to get another attack going. Because let's assume they knock out this Mewtwo. We push up the Mimikyu. We draw for turn. And look at that. Another Mimikyu. We are ready to rock and roll again. Forward. Again, I appreciate you guys watching this deck list profile. I will be putting some of the deck list down in the description below. Sort of my concepts, my inspos for this deck. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.